Hey all, Heretic here. Patch 27.4.2 drops today. It's live. It's good to go. Probably about 1 p.m. Eastern time. About this time we'll be live. Let's dive into the changes. We have some returning cards, we have some leaving cards, and we have some changed cards. And first, we're going to start right off the bat with an anomaly system update. And it says, each week's new anomalies will now have a slightly smaller appearance bonus in higher rated lobbies. They still have an appearance bonus for the first week. They are added compared to all other anomalies, but not as large of one. Lower rated lobbies will still have the same offering bonuses before. So if you're sitting at probably 7K and higher, you won't see as much of the new ones. You'll see more of a variety. Well, lower MMR people will probably be dealing with the usual stuff. So not a big change, but depending where you are, this is going to affect your experience. So Big League has changed quite a bit actually, and this is a pretty cool one. Old was only Tavern tiers 3, 4, and 5, and 6 exist. New, only Tavern 3, 4, 5, and 6 exist. Start with 10 extra armor. So you'll have those turns where someone, will sit there and get a Millhouse guy and he'll be like, hey, minion, 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 minion. It won't feel as bad. You won't take as much damage because you'll take just as much damage, but you'll have the armor to absorb some of that. So it doesn't feel as bad when someone pops off really early and gets lucky. You don't find yourself dead. In a dev comment, also demons are now banned from this anomaly. So I'm actually fine with that. Demons kind of suck in this one because you need Rewinder to function as a demon board. And without Soul Rewinder, you're kind of screwed to play demons. So this makes sense to remove. Everything's on fire. Got a similar change. Old, at the start of the game, take 30 damage. After another hero dies, regain 5 health. Now, at the start of the game, take 25 damage. After another hero dies, regain 5 health. So the same exact thing, except you take 25 damage instead of 30. I felt like everything on fire was painful. The games were too fast, and that's great when you're on the right side of those games, but when you're on the wrong side of those games, it gets really painful really fast. So this is a good change for the health of these lobbies. A fair reward has been changed yet again, and this is where I thought this should have been put the first time we talked about changing this, but the old was discover a Dark Moon prize. The new is discover a tier Dark Moon prize. Dev comment, Dark Moon prizes are now locked based on the tier you were at when you tripled, instead of giving a prize based on the tier you're at when you play them. So if you want to get good Dark Moon prizes, you must tier. So we no longer should see the shenanigans where people are sitting at tier 1 and farming triples. Those days should be gone. People need to be going to at least tier 4 to get the valuable ones. Now, whether or not they just stay on 4 or they continue on, we'll see, but that's the pattern I think we'll see going forward. Yogg-iseum got to change, but it is only in the wording to make it more clear what it does. It used to read, at the start of each turn, all heroes spin the wheel of yogg-saron. Now it says, at the start of each turn, all heroes spin the same wheel of yogg-saron. In other words, it doesn't really sound simpler to me. I mean, you're all spinning the same wheel, but it's just a wording thing. It should just say the same, we're all share the same result would help, I think, as opposed to saying start the same wheel. I don't know. It depends how you read into it and everything. But for me, this doesn't really clear it up anymore. If I'm one of the persons who's going to have a hard time understanding the initial one, this clearing up still would make me be like, wait, spin the same wheel? Does that mean we're spinning the same wheel and then we're waiting for each other to spin the wheel? How does it's just one of those where it opens up as many questions to me as it answers. And Golganath Tempest has had a massive hero ban list. It's kind of like they put it out and then they realize, oh shit, there's a problem with this one. So here's the new list of heroes banned from this. And I'm going to go into it real quick because it's funny. I'm not going to flash them all on the screen beyond the text, but AFK, Eudora, Bran, Elise, Omu, Flurgle, Galakron, Kurtrus, Ozamat, Scabs, Silas, Sourfang, Putricide, Zarella, Yogg-saron, and Yasarj all got banned from this lobby, and it kind of feels right. Still confused why Millhouse is in it, but sure. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. It just feels weird. I don't know. It feels like we're using his hero power essentially, and Millhouse is just sitting there like, yeah, I guess I'll play this in here. Feels weird. Imposing Percussionist got a good change. Used to be tier 5, 6, 6. Now it is a tier 4, 4, 4 with the same effect of discover a demon, deal damage to your health equal to its tier. If you're playing demons, you need this discovery. Earlier is better because you can find them earlier and it means there's more in the pool. So this will help demons be a little bit more relevant, I guess, because demons right now, unless you really pop off, don't feel like they matter. I think this will help a lot. Shady Aristocrats, Sire Denathrius's buddy got changed also because, well, they're annoying and there's too many of them. So to fix that, they went from a tier 2 2/2 to a tier 3 3/3 with the same effect of Battlecry, discover a quest, complete it to get an 8-coin belt pouch. I'm fine with that change. This means we won't see them immediately. Right as soon as they go to tier 2, it'll be at least another turn or two till we run into these. So there'll be a lot less of them to deal with. Pilot whirl-o-tron, Sneed's buddy got an interesting change. It used to be a tier 3 4/3 Battlecry, copy a different friendly minion's death rattle, and it's been changed to a tier 5 5/4 start of combat, copy all other minions death rattles except piloted whirl-o-tron. Dev comment, yes, all. With this update, piloted whirl-o-tron has returned to the Bring in the Buddies anomaly buddy pool. I mean, they did this to stop it being, they took it out because it was an issue with the secret buddy. But I still think this is going to be a massive issue because now it's copying all the death rattles of everything you might. I mean, this instantly loves to be in Murlocs, Undead board, Beast board. This thing is nasty and can fit in a lot of places. Yeah, you're only going to see it in the buddies anomaly or if you're playing ETC, but damn, this is a big change. This makes piloted whirl-o-tron that much better. I'm interested to see how this one shakes up, but I think the answer is going to be stronger. And here we go. Speaking of Akazamorak's buddy, Street Magician, old used to be a 5/3 death rattle, put a random secret into the battlefield. New 3/5 at the end of your turn, cast a random secret. So we won't see death rattle shenanigans anymore. You can't use a Titus to interact with this. So there'll be less shenanigans. It will work with the piloted whirl-o-tron because it's not a death rattle anymore, but now it's the issue that it's a end of turn effect. So it works with Drakari now. So if you're running a Street Magician and you don't have that ice block yet, Drakari Enchanter's not bad to splash out to give you the chance to get that ice block a little faster and then get rid of the Drakari and not care if it doesn't synergize with your board. Be interesting to see how this change pops out. This minion is a massive problem with the death rattles and everything happening. Just the way it could play out was it would dominate an entire combat phase to the point where by the time your combat phase ended, your shop phase would begin and have seconds left, or you'd get no shop phase and go right into a combat phase against a truly horrific version of this board. So happy to see this change. And just the tiniest little update to the minion pool, the Keyboard Igniter and the Spark-ling have been removed from the pool. Keyboard Igniter, I'm not really caring about. Spark-ling I felt was fun, but if you got a brand or a golden brand, could start to get out of control when you got lucky and found a few of these things. And since no one keeps them on their board, they are always being recycled. So you really could get some silly boards because of them. But in the sense of removing that, to stop some silliness, they add Felemental back. Folks, if you don't remember Felemental, Felemental is the elemental demon that when you play it, it gives your shop +1/+1 permanently. So expect to see more Rylaks in the future because this will be sitting next to the Rylak and pumping up the shop infinitely and doing crazy, dumb, not enjoyable things. I'm hoping it's not as bad, but they in no way changed it. They just said it's back. So welcome to the days of stats again. Let's see how this works out. And that's it for this patch. No other big changes, no big fixes, nothing we need to worry about. In the Battlegrounds land, standard, wild, all that. Got a ton of changes, twist, whatever you want to call them. That's another thing. That is a whole other beast there. Luckily, we only deal with Battlegrounds here. And I think we got enough changes that are going to affect the lobbies where this is enough. We're happy. I'm definitely enjoying where things are going. I think some of these shifts to the anomalies are very good changes, and I feel like they're pushing some of them in the right direction. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious. Do you think these changes are positive, or do you feel like some of these anomalies just suck, or they all suck and you don't care? I know if I look at some of the competitive Battlegrounds reports on some of the Discords, there's some really grumpy players out there. There always are, but there's definitely a trend of frustration because the competitive people feel, and I understand why, it's too random. Every game is so different. Some of their knowledge just doesn't feel useful because it won't work in other lobbies that it works fine with in some lobbies. And it's probably frustrating the hell out of these ultra competitive people. I know I'm pretty competitive. I get pretty grumpy when I'm thinking one thing and I'm like, oh shit, it's this lobby. It doesn't work that way. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching all. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a few things that are interesting to you. I'll catch you in the Battlegrounds. Until next time, later.